Hello friends, my name is Theo, and today in this exciting Miesner Media Let's Play After Effects, we are going to be making a little logo reveal for my new reel. So this is not like our normal tutorials where it's really fast and, edited together. This is just me working and you watching along. This is something that I always wanted whenever I was sort of starting up, seeing how people actually worked and all the problems and stuff involved with that. So today we're going to be working in some After Effects, and I have a sort of vague idea of what I want to do, but we'll see if it comes up like that. So you see, I just finished editing together a little reel here, and in this section, let me turn the audio way down. Let me pull up OBS. I can check this. Actually, I should turn off the audio because copyright, because I'm a bad kid, but see, we go through here. Nice. Look at that. Fashion. And then there's this blank spot where I have transparent video, and then boom, into the rest of it. You can see with the music, there's this intro, and then pow. So it's like this little, lead up with, random bits and bobs, and then Miesner Media Demo Reel 2016, and then pow, 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 party time. So I've just put in this placeholder of transparent video, and I'm going to drop that down to track 1 just because. I'm going to right click, go to replace with After Effects composition, and then I'll do that later. Extremely likely 10. I'm guessing that was that thing. So After Effects is going to open up, and we're going to see that it is not instant like in the tutorials where I speed it up. So until then, Happy New Year. This is being, quote, filmed, unquote, on January 1st, but we'll see whenever I actually put it out. Probably be some Saturday. Nice. Okay, now we're getting some After Effects happening. I'm also going to, I should have done this before. Open up wherever my logo is. Yo. From 2013, geez. Oh no, I have the vector somewhere. That would be much more pro. I will save this as active projects. I bet it was on the server. Yeah, because I'm a good kid. I'm trying to transition over to having all my active projects on the server, which probably isn't super responsible, but it would make things a lot easier to keep track of. So reel, new folder, AE. There's one bad thing about the server is when you create folders, it has this funny lag, but it does its job pretty well otherwise. So this is the project, and then the asset, and then the program and version, which is just how I name things. And I always name things the same way, so it makes it really easy for making a reel. Like, I made the whole reel in one day, going through like 3 years basically of stuff. I guess it's 3 years now, 2 or 3 years. My last reel was technically 2014, but I think I made that right at the beginning of 2014, and since it's right at the beginning of 2017, it's about 3 years of stuff. So transparent video, we can go ahead and delete that. I will hope that this is the correct logo. Oops, need to go to the project window. And scoop-a-doop-boop-boop. Let me get OBS. Where are you? Still recording. Because I normally break this up into like 20-ish minutes chunks, just like a video game Let's Play, because let's face it, After Effects is basically a video game. Sweet. And I should go to window, workspace. Save as new workspace. I feel like every time After Effects updates, it resets all the workspaces. So it's just in standard again. I'll just do this the long way. Layer and footage. And that seems a little bit goofy looking, but that's fine. It's never really fun to work on After Effects in just one screen, but I'll do it for you. Okay, so what I want this guy to do, we've got like a little more than 2 seconds. We've got like 2 seconds. Cool. So I'm going to first hit F4 and enable collapse transformations, which will make this vector scale like a vector. And then I will go ahead 10 frames and hit P and S. And I won't worry about P, just hit S and then home. Then I'll scale this way up. Where'd my mouse go? Yo. One of the drawbacks of having 5 computer monitors. Sometimes you get in that situation. Okay, so since we do need to move this a little bit. That's goofy. Something goofy happened. That's fine. I know this is at 100. Heyo. This will just move it, up and out of the way. And a little bit more. It's got some crazy headaches, so don't worry about that. Sweet. We should scale this down some so it's not quite such an extreme thing. Maybe like 1,000. Nice. And add motion blur, and we'll make this more like 8 frames. So sweet. And enable motion blur here, and you'll see. Up. Just like that. It's like my favorite way to bring a logo on. It's so easy. Actually, instead of doing position, I'm going to do opacity. Just because I don't really like it coming from the top there. So I'll hit T to bring up opacity. Scoot forward 2 frames or so. Make it 100. Scoot back to home. 0. If you haven't already noticed, my little buttons and stuff are showing up in that corner. Hit U. The button U, not like you, the person. Which brings up the keyframes. Cool. So now let's go ahead and scale this up more. So make it like 2,500. So it comes in faster. Let's hit N, and we'll go ahead and make this half resolution just because it doesn't matter. Pew. Nice. And I'll have it come into like 120 or so. Just make it a little bigger. I want it to move up some because underneath we're going to create a new text layer. I'll say, oop. I wasn't intending on using whatever Gothic Pro, but I'm going to. Oh yeah, the thing about this keycaster is it doesn't let me use my Windows key, which is pretty annoying. Maybe the paid version has it, but okay, but I know my logo text is that. Yeah, I do like that better. Demo Reel 2016. This align panel is just like my favorite thing ever. Let's make this smaller because we are classy sons of guns. Pew, nice. So now the logo should come down good little bit. This guy, P. Nice. And S and T and S and T. I'm just going to use these same exact things. C, Control V, Shift T, Control C, Control V, and then offset by about 2 frames. By a little more than 2 frames. Oh, that's why. So I'm going to go here and hit A to change the anchor point and make it more on the top of the text. Then P and move it back up. Sorry if this isn't as exciting as a normal tutorial, but you know, this is real world stuff. And render this guy out. Oh, geez, that needs to be way smaller. What happened there? Oh, I know what happened there is we copied the scale. Ha ha ha. It was at like 80 or so before, I think. Looks like it should be smaller. And I feel like it should start smaller as well. So like 1500. And maybe they should start at the same time. This one just takes longer. I want to avoid this, but I mean, we'll just use a null object. So Shift F3, and that will, well, first I will do F9 and F9, and then select both of those, and Shift F3, change this from speed to value, or value to speed, and then we'll do our hip little and that should make them look way better. Yeah, substantially better. We need that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, Bobo? Okay. All right, but I want this guy to take even longer to fade on. And I'll have these both blur on a little bit. And since this is for a reel, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to use camera lens blur. I normally would not do this unless it was a really special project. This is a really special project. All right, so blur radius is keyframed at 0. And then here it is keyframed at like 30, 60. Yeah. Maybe even 80. Maybe even 120. Yeah. And you. So that's going to be quite a render hit, but you know, it'll make it look good. Huh. Lost my keyframe there. So I will just make it again. 0 and 120. I will copy that and paste it here. And it keeps its keyframes. Nice. A quick little render. Nice. I'm liking how that looks. So I'll add a new null object with Control-Alt-Shift-C and parent these guys to this guy, and I will call this. I'm not sure if scalar has 1 L or 2 L's, but for this little walkthrough, it has 1 L. Go S and 100 and make it 90 at the end. Sweet. And then I'll do Control-Shift-Y, create a new, Control-Alt-Y, create a new adjustment layer. And I forgot the exact name of this effect, but I just stumbled upon it again the other day, so I'm going to use it. Ball action, right? CC ball action. Yeah. So this is like, makes things pixely. I think this was in an old Video Copilot tutorial, but I don't really remember. But see, you can make the stuff scatter like this and rotate. Whoa. Instability state. Sick. Facing one. What? Tiny balls. Just like in real life. Can I do 0.5? No. 1 is the smallest it's got. So 0. So how are we going to transition this? That is a good question. So we're going to be, and we'll say like the last few frames here is when we'll turn this on. Keyframe our scatter. I guess 100 was good. Doesn't matter when the scatter is 0. All right, and U. And in like 3 frames, make the scatter way high. And this. Oh, twist. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Ooh. I haven't played around with those controls yet. So they'll look, basically the same. So let me just get, that one, no, I kind of like the bigger one. So twist on the x-axis. Sweet. So keyframe this at 0. Then here, it'll be like 3. Yeah. By that I mean like way more than 3 apparently. Let's turn the scatter down like a good little bit. Yeah, more like that. That's what I'm looking for. Hit U again to bring up our keyframe. So we'll also bring our scale back up. So we'll do the scene scaler. So about there. That's looking cool. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Theo, this looks pretty dumb so far. Like, let's take a quick little gander at it. Oop, got to make the whole region. It probably does look pretty dumb so far. Actually, before I render, quick save. Then 0. You working, Bubbo? If I was really cool, I would do this in Cinema 4D. But, we'll do it in After Effects. Oh, that lens blur. It takes so long, but it's so worth it. Look how good that blur looks. Look at these areas around here. Nice. Nice. And these highlights. Oh, yeah. Lens blur is so nice. Pew, pew. Nice. And then super fast, easy, and then whoa. Sweet. So we will make this twist angle take a long time. Then we'll also add vector blur. And vector blur makes everything cool. You see right now it's not doing much because it's set at 0. Is there a vector, or is there like, oh man, look how cool that looks. Map softness. I really want like a scale. But I guess that works. And if I add, I just discovered this effect the other day too. You could use trap code shine if you want to. Or, I will use shine. It looks better. Yeah, it looks better. Let's see if we, this as an experiment, if you give this like a 1 frame, 2 frame, That doesn't look very good. One frame. Nah. Nah. So I think what we will do to make this transition, so I mean, first of all, yeah, I mean, we're going to use these anyway. So shout out to some sweet stock footage packs. We're going to use Lens Junk. And you can see how unorganized my project file is. So we're going to do ProRes 1080, Control-Shift-1, and the ones that I like these fly eye ones. This is probably what we're going to end with. So I just bring in a couple of those. And actually, another thing we're going to need, just going to use all my stuff. Bright lights, ProRes, OG, transitions, loud, ProRes. These three. See if we like. Maybe we even use all three. Who knows? I think wing burn is going to be what I want. Yeah, so we'll start there. And F4, change this guy to screen. Neat, so I'll just continue that there. Let's see, I think that might be too long. Yeah, cut out some of that. Oh, that could be cool. It's just like a little, just a little thing. Move this out here. This there. This in there. Make these both take a lot longer. And that might be pretty cool right there. Warning. Oh man, it's been 23 minutes. But I mean, I think we're basically done. My computer does not like rendering in After Effects and recording video at the same time. How much am I doing? Fine. I'm doing fine on hard drive space. Okay. Well, you can just deal with it, computer. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty much what I was thinking. I just want more light rays with this. So, effect controls, shine, ray length, boost light. That's where the money's at. 30. Oh, what? I don't think that's going to look good, but let's try it anyway. I don't think it looks good. Definitely not. And we need to bring this down to something more like 20. And then that's definitely not going to look good. If I was cool, I would just make my own. Ooh, pink's always fun. Yeah, that's pretty hot. I feel like we need to glow before it. Yeah. Intensity 2. I think this might be better because the thing about light burst is it sort of affects the whole image. Yeah, you see no matter where the center is, and oh, excuse me, shine only affects basically where the little midpoint is, which is it really not. Yeah, which is a shame, but oh well. So bring the intensity up. Yeah. What does this mean? We'll keep it at default because none of those really matter to me. Intensity, ray length, that. I wish that would be both hotter and more electric, but I mean, let's just take a little preview of this and see how that works. Ooh, fireworks. That looks cool. Yeah, so I want this to turn fewer times. Come on, Bubbo. Let me click on you. There we go. So we'll change this to like 2. See how that works. Yeah. That should be better. So sorry I said I was going to keep this around 20 minutes. It's going to be more like 30 something minutes. But I think that we have like a little logo reveal now. So you can see that's a little bit fast, but I mean the whole demo reel is super fast. And you can see how easy that was. I mean, I think that's a pretty neat little thing. As long as if you gave it more time, it would be cool. I'm also going to just add some fly eyes in, I mean, I guess on top. Let's see, where do things start? Yeah, some of these parts, those are nice. And change this to screen. Oh, yeah. Just to sort of give it a little bit more oomph, you know? So it's not like flat and boring. That's a great thing about, I guess, you know, shameless self-promotion. That's a great thing about the light leaks and the lens junk pack is they can really just super easily like that make your thing pop up so much more and make it look more impressive. So I might see if I can get these two things to come on just a little bit quicker. So I have just a little bit more time. So great After Effects trick. You select all your keyframes, hold down Alt, and then you can scale the time back. So that might be a little fast, but we'll try it anyway. I think I even like that better. Cool. I think the last thing I'll do is right above this. Control Y, add a quick little black solid. Comp size. And then I'll just give that a little fade out. T for opacity, make 100 like there. Let's scrub through this. So yeah, we can probably start not seeing it there. 0. Zero. Sweet. Just because that way our little light leak thing gets a lot more power. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. Save that. We'll see how this guy works. Not very well, it looks like. Hey-oh, that almost worked. See if we can force this bad boy. Scoop boop 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 boom 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 boom. Rendered. Yeah, that did it. Gabriella. Zoop. Miesner Media Demo Reel 2016. Coulter. Y'all recognize some of this from tutorials. All right. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little, let's play After Effects. I know I would have enjoyed that if I was you. We covered some cool little effects in After Effects. Covered some dynamic link stuff just briefly. And, even if you didn't want to watch, it'd be a pretty sweet thing to put on in the background while you're like cleaning. I think. So anyway, let me know what you think about this. I'll probably keep doing them if I want to or not. But if you like them, let me know, because that'll make me feel good. If you don't like them, keep it to yourself, because I won't listen. Check out miesnermedia.com/products, where you can find the bright lights, light leak pack and the lens junk pack featured here. Sorry I didn't use any LUTs on this project or do like any color grading at all. But I do more than just color grading, believe it or not. Also, I will post my reel to this channel, but I'm not going to enable like post to subscribers. So you gotta look for it if you want to see it, because I know that a lot of people subscribing don't really care about the demo reel. They just want to see tutorials. I'll play it in the background because we're having a little chat. Because this is just a casual thing. If you've made it this far, then I know you're in for the long haul. So happy 2017. What else? Subscribe to Miesner Media if you want to see more stuff. If you've made it this far, leave Bodacious Space Pirates down in the comments. And, I'll know what that means. So, wink. Check out Facebook and Twitter. I don't really do much on there, but, apparently they're important. I'm just stalling as the reel ends. You can see that those Atom audio clips, I used like something straight from Resolve instead of like an actual render. I don't know why, but that's why they like didn't load at all. It's because they're like giganto files. But those Atom audio people, they are awesome. They're super cool. I have a pair of Atom audio monitors, or speakers as we would call them in video. And they are just incredible. I may or may not have actually like teared up once or twice listening to them because they're super good. Like I was listening to Dropkick Murphys and you can just like hear the air on the strings and like did you even know that there was a cello on Shipping Off to Boston or whatever it's called, their one song. I'm shipping off to Boston, I'm shipping off to find my Jonah. That part, there's like cellos or some sort of strings and you can hear that because man, this is not an endorsed by Atom Audio Let's Play After Effects. They're just super good. And I worked with some dealers for that video. They've got like a thing in Nashville and they were all super cool. They knew what they were talking about. It was great to get to hang out with like audio guys again. Because for those of you who didn't know, I went to school for audio engineering and like worked as a professional audio engineer like through high school. But then I came to Nashville and everyone else was an engineer and no one did video, and video made more money and was easier. So I was like, hey, I can do that. This shot, oh my goodness. Look up Dearly Brothers Marble Floors. That was like that was like the first music video I made when I came to Nashville with my buddy Vion, who's like the coolest dude. His current band, I think, is Captain Dipper and the Strawberry Girl. Or no, it's Vion Isaac. So check him out. I'll put a link in the description because he's super cool. And this shot took me 3 days to do. Oh my goodness gracious. This is turning into a vlog, but I put this castle in there, and so this piano is actually on fire. So I had to like basically roto out this fire. I did like some crazy chroma keying stuff. There's this highway that was going on here that was super ugly. So I put this castle in there. You can see my roto on Vion's super sloppy because I was just getting annoyed. And I had to add an extra fire because there was this truck that was going by at that time that had like this, just a super white back. The sun was reflecting off, that the sun was reflecting off of. You could see it through the fire. Oh my goodness. This shot took forever. But man, that was such a fun day. There's also a behind the scenes up on YouTube if you want to see that. I don't know where that is. But, you know, if you look up Dearly Brothers, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. That was fun. If you want to see like early Miesner Media. Shot on, I mean, I think looks pretty good. It was shot on the Sony NEX VG10. Let's look that up. That was my first like big camera. And I mean, I think it looks pretty good for being shot on the Sony NEX VG10. We used like, Twixtor on everything. I got other shots earlier. This ballerina girl, Emily, who's super kind. And like really good too. She's like a pro in New York. I guess I know I already missed like all of her shots. I was not intending on just gabbing away this long, but you know, what the heck? Apparently YouTube rewards like longer videos. So, you know, I'll just make them all 40 minutes long. There we go. There she was. Stop. Phoenix, not on Bald Mountain. Oh, so be right. Yeah. I forgot I was even talking about Emily, but I mean, like, check this out. I think it looks pretty good for being shot on a Sony NEX VG10, personally. So just learn how to color grade and learn how to light, and then have a pretty ballerina girl in your video, and you're good to go. So just as a comparison, this was shot on the Sony NEX VG10 with love. This was shot on a Red Dragon 6K with anamorphic lenses without love. So, I mean, you can see it's what's behind the camera that matters more. Because these don't look bad, but they don't look like $100,000 better than this, in my opinion. So anyway, I've gabbed on long enough. I've really enjoyed talking to you, having this time together, making a little logo reveal. Watch it again. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. If you've made it this long, then you're one of the special ones. And tell me that you've made it that far, and I will be more likely to respond to your messages, because we all know that I'm bad at that. So, once again, I've been Theo with Miesner Media. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. And Happy New Year!